part of it now. The fact that it can like accumulates in the way that it does, you can just get buy after you lose, is it's a big dynamic that if you can adapt to it fast enough is pretty rough. Of course, we talk about the odds, we talk about what we think. Our partners over at LootBet seem to be favoring Hard Legion, and we kind of discussed why.
Yeah. I mean, if we look at it simply from a world ranking point of view, Hard Legion, they're 29th ranked on HLTV, Crazy 71st. Definitely not the highest that Crazy have been, but obviously this is not the same lineup that did perform some of those feats. I believe, last year was when they were kind of starting to spark up into Tier 1 CS. But obviously since then, complete roster swaps, and I believe they went over to Contact. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, Contact Gaming is where that roster ended up, so... These, I think it's been about 6 to 7 months since they have established this team. And while there's been a kind of a rotating door on a few of their players, this is a proving ground once again, as it has been for quite a few months. Crad, ooh, nice opening
Very
shot.
nice.
Over towards Psycho. So that initial B pressure that Crazy are beginning to mount does somewhat meet a bit of contact, but Crad, he's not backing down. He wants to take fight after fight. Sergez hits the deck. Eventually he's traded out, and while there's no immediate player that can contest, this is a stacked B bomb site for Hard Legion. This could get dangerous for Crazy.
Yeah, very, very stacked up, and well, it looks like Crazy, they are potentially second guessing themselves. There's two players now going to be lurking all the way back round towards mid. Seems like it's more on the cards for them now after losing two players. They get the trade back, but potentially too little too late. Only 40 seconds remaining on the clock now. Toxic's still going to be holding Banana. Doesn't want to show too much, but I just want to try and get that pick towards CT, but everyone's falling off. They haven't seen the direct push. And Crazy, the double fake, now going to be pushing out onto the B site. The only player there, head ripped clean off his shoulders by Toxic. And now there's nobody left to defend. Or is there? Looks like Rage is still holding. Taps down one. Oh, only damage. Not going to be able to get that frag. Sensei trades it back. And now on a 3 versus 2 with the bomb going down, we need to see a quick push here from Hard Legion. Oh, Kinku tries to do it, but nope. Demku picks up 2 more. That's 3 frags for him in this round. And the first round going to wait for Crazy.
Yeah, although things go pretty well for Hard Legion off the initial duels, the fact that Crazy slowed things down so significantly, Hard Legion start to question themselves, and, well, Crazy will happily capitalize. Not moving into the 3-stack bomb site, instead just the 2. Makes things a whole lot easier. This becomes the recurring theme that you'll see for many of the games of Counter-Strike as of late. 4 spies in the second round. You understand why the economy does favor this. You can, of course, get better utility into later rounds as well. Especially if they want to get the AWP into Rage's hands as fast as possible. This is a line of reasoning that would suggest that. But interesting that he's bought so far low.
Yeah, he's committed very hard into this round, if you think about it. Of course, everyone else is kind of follow suit around him. No one above $200 right now, but Rage with the scout. If he can't find anything here, it's definitely not going to be a good round number 3. Pop flash comes on over. Forrestar finds the first base, and, well, it's going to be Sergez who picks up 1. Is that I think it is. A little bit of damage going to be traded back. Toxic, 1 frag for himself. Forrestar, the only one to find a frag so far. Crad, what are you going to be able to do here? Nade onto the site, doesn't deal any damage. He has to rotate round to mid. Needs to be careful here. Has a deagle available, but Psycho's just holding inside a boiler. As the bomb goes down, Crad doesn't have a defuse yet, doesn't even check the angle. Just going to be a little bit of a spray to take him out of the round. Second round for Crazy. Kind of expected it, to be honest.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what happened there. It almost looked like the player fell and died, just kind of naturally, but then you look at it as a team kill. I don't know what's happened.
I do not know what happened. It's someone fell. A lot of damage was dealt by Forrestar, there's no question about that, but he stayed alive until quite late into that, so
yeah,
did a good job of clearing out.
At the very least for Crazy, they keep 3 alive.
Exactly.
And while Hard Legion will try their best in a round like this, they got a couple flashes. Me and Tito have had many a discussion about how the pistols, amongst 0 utility surrounding it, is the big pet peeve. More teams need to start investing in that utility, and while Sviat has the 2 flashes available, the stack towards B is prepared, and they want to take these fights. The flash will come through now, pushing forward. They're trying to catch these players off guard, but now the flash gun. They cannot take sanctuary in the fact that these players are blind, and they still want to push the limits. They still want to continue pushing forward, but Sergez and Sensei combine to take down all the players towards B. And while there's a bit of an idea there from Hard Legion, none of it actually follows through. A nice opening set of rounds for CR4ZY.
Yeah, pretty convincing start. There's no real question about that. 2 players on the Hard Legion side still yet to frag, that being Rage and Svat. Something quite interesting that we saw in that previous round from Forestar is he was the only player holding on A. Instead of being quite defensive, got quite aggressive, and the force ball up into a Zeus. Didn't turn into a frag, did get spayed down with a Mat 10, but I like to see that random little plays like that, the fact that they are trying to just catch someone off guard, and it'll be interesting to see if they can catch anyone off guard in this round. So that's taken a lot of damage from that utility. They tried to gain banana control quite early on with that Molotov shut down, or should I say Firenade. But it hasn't really bore any fruit. Still a 5 versus 5, a minimal damage traded back on both sides. Raze does finally pick up a shot on to Demke.
The fact that they rotate one of the players away from the B bomb site so early as well, and although Krad has a smoke to delay and the decision will ultimately be amended, could have been an opportunity for CR4ZY to take hold. And in fact, now that they felt a little bit of presence towards the B bomb site, they've called over for Forrester. That smoke in front of the site as the execute comes through could be huge.
It could be. Pop's actually going to come through. He does wipe Pete the angle. Spray comes out, but Sergej is there for the trade. No one else is showing right now. They don't want to fatal to these AKs, but spray from Krad. The lineup's there for Savat. Takes down Psycho and Toxic. Now does just leave Sensei with the AWP. Hasn't found a frag in this round so far. Dropped down to 62 HP. With the bomb lost on the B side, I wouldn't be particularly surprised if he just saves her.
Yeah, very much a likely path that Sensei chooses. 20 seconds just to kind of secure his exit as well, make sure that nobody on the Hard Legion side is flanking, containing him towards Banana and to try and kill him after time as well. And now that he's navigated out, he will almost certainly be free. A pretty good hold over towards the B bomb site. The fact that things line up for Sviat makes all the difference. He was the man that had to step up in the moment, and although the reinforcements was coming, had he fallen, we would have ended up in a post plant. Everything changes with those 2 kills.
Yeah, it was some great patience there from Krad and Sviat. The fact that they were both able to just not peek out the second Forestar peeks it. Let's have a look at this one again. Krad picks up 1, damage traded, and yeah, the lineup there for Svat. Yeah, it takes a lot of experience and patience to be able to just not instantly peek when one of your teammates falls. So, lovely bit of spray control. Just love to see that. That does secure Hard Legion's first round, though.
Yep, they hold that crossfire for just long enough that CR4ZY are unsuspecting. I think we need to make an agreement. Sviat.
Sviat, yes.
Because so, I think I've done through two or three different pronunciations. So have you. So Sviat.
Like the car, but Sv.
Yeah.
It's my one joke of the cast, and it's gonna stay that way. Ridiculous.
Well, jokes may be taken out of Demke. He's hit the deck fairly early on. Rage again finding some impact with this AWP. Ever since Hard Legion have had this, they've been okay. He found an early pick in the previous round as well. And while CR4ZY will attempt to keep them guessing, some presence over towards the A-bomb site is what's at hand, and Hard Legion are grouped up towards CT spawn. So this smoke will deny the vision of 1, but the boost from Hard Legion, should it go unchecked, could be a bit of a problem area. Krad unflashed, he's just waiting, playing it patient, and now they think to check it. Sergez, he just has an inkling, has the idea, like, wait a second, I didn't clear that angle, and so now the site's crazy. So they can get into good post plants as well, play the 4-on-4 appropriately. There's not a gross amount of utility on the CT side. A couple of smokes can isolate the duel. The Sensei, with a missed shot, now this becomes a problem.
He's using the enemy smoke to his advantage, being able to get complete banana control from this as well, so no flank gonna be possible. Rage is gonna get tagged down to 1 HP, but still gets that frag on Toxic. Sensei trades 1 back. Forestar picks up one of his own, but now on a 2 versus 1. Rage on 1 HP. Sensei doesn't know this though. They're on the site. He needs to go for the push, but Rage with the AWP finally turns himself up there. saving 2 of them to take it through to the next round. Second round for Hard Legion. This could start spiraling now.
Yeah, and I think ever since they've got the AWP on Rage, all of his kills are with that weapon.
Yep.
So he's immediately showing the impact that he can have for this Hard Legion side. Who cares about previous AWPers they may have had? Man's making a name for himself as well, as particularly on this server. Of course, the money from Crazy after winning those first 3, it has run a little thin. So just down to the pistols. The MAC-10 bought up by DemQ as well. See if he can get a little bit of distance for his side, but he meets the secondary of Karad.
Yeah, tagged him through the wall, then finishes the job. Not the best utility usage, but it looks like Psycho is going to get tagged as well with the York once again. This time in the leg through the wall, down to 47 HP. Nade's not going to do that from distance. Forrester sprays down Toxic as well as he gets a little bit too aggressive towards the A-bomb site. Sensei still lurking round. Does catch Rage off guard though, and that's an AWP recovered. This round could crumble around Hard Legion. They've done well so far to pick up a couple of frags and deal a lot of damage to these crazy guys, but Sensei can lurk around CT spawn and catch both Spia and Krad off guard. Maybe it could go their way. Krad does pick up 1. The trade is there. Spia. Oh, is he going to be ready for this lurk from Sensei? I think he is. Smoke goes down. He hasn't scoped in. Does spot him, but wow. Movement and accuracy does just whiff the shot. Third round for Hard Legion. They do bring it level. With that safe and crazy, they're going to be able to fall by.
And this kill from Sensei opens up so many opportunities. The timing there is perfect as well, because I think Forrester just goes to clear it behind him, and he gets around that corner to take down Sensei take down Rage just in the nick of time. A great response though from Hard Legion. The fact that they take that initiative to push into Banana as they know that CT spawn has been compromised, that makes sure that they don't get sandwiched. Instead, they go down with a bit more fight. And while it was the decision that ultimately won them the round, again, another pick for Rage. These AWPs on the Hard Legion side seem to be very difficult for Crazy to deal with until DemQ trades things back.
Yeah, if he's hitting shots like that, Rage needs to be very, very careful about how he continues playing this. However, it did come just a little bit too late. Soga's, of course, getting picked up quite early on, which has kind of become a staple now for Rage. If you give him an AWP inside of mid, he is going to pick up at least a single frag. I don't think there's any real question there. A new pushing strategy for Crazy, though. Well, I say that, but it looks like they've fallen back on their laurels and gone back towards the B site. But aggressive here from Krad and Kinkui. What are they going to be able to do? The flip there from Krad does take down 1, with Kinkui peeking off the back of it as well with a flash from Spire.
Yeah, and now just down to the last 2 remaining, DemQ and Toxic. Bomb needs to be recovered, of course, just realizing it's on the other side of the wall. Now rendezvousing over. So the utilities sailed through. DemQ's trying to clear a path onto the site so that the bomb can get planted with 30 seconds left. Forrester, the initial duel, it doesn't go his way. Toxic able to make use of his teammate as a bit of a distraction. Find the frag, and now they can set up into post plants, or can they? Because Kinky, he's made it so that they cannot escape. They cannot get too safe before the retake is underway. And while DemQ has so much utility thrown his direction, shots need to be hit if he wants a chance, and he doesn't hit anything. A round in which Hard Legion get caught sleeping towards the A-bomb site slightly, but Hard Legion had that aggressive B presence and made the retake that much easier.
I mean, they did an absolutely great job to dodge all of that utility that you mentioned was being thrown over to him. I don't think he got flashed fully once there.
Well, of course, you can dodge all you want, but you cannot escape our lovely partners over at Hellcase. They are the biggest and most well-known case opening site with almost 100 cases, updated case battle, dozens of giveaways per month, and more absolute unique features. You won't get bored with Hellcase, and you can use the promo codes to save yourself some money and grab what you deserve.
You're getting too good at those segues.
Listen. I mean, you can run, but you can't hide.
Rage inside of mid, gets flashed, tries for the blind flip, isn't able to connect it. DemQ does get picked up inside of mid himself. Forrester falls also, and that's going to be a weapon recovered. Not the best of buys for Crazy in this round. Tech 9 for Sergey, Mac 10 for Sensei. Still an AK on Toxic, but definitely not where they'd want to be, considering how strong of a start they've had. But they've lost 4 rounds in a row now, so they do need to break this loss streak. But the defense from Hard Legion, after those first few rounds, seems like they butt their ideas up a little bit.
Yeah, nobody looking to take any space either from the crazy side with the utility that they've expended in mid. Of course, they've still got a fair amount available. The re-execute towards the A bomb site. There's the spoken towards the arches, towards library as well. So they're feigning a bit of pressure towards A, and they're hoping to keep all those 3 players busy. Meanwhile, they now begin to move in towards the B bomb site, and Crad with the AWP, missed shot that could cost him. Tag not been found, so he won't slow down. And the Molotov buys him time for the rotates to come through. They've really sealed in Crazy here. They're hauling the flank as well. Kinky's found 2.
He's found 2, and Crad isn't able to find it, but the primary AWP in Rage does. Kinky picks up one of his own. That is a round which looked like it should have been Crazy's. Falling apart at their feet.
Yeah. Just very fast reactions, right? The fact that they throw those smokes, and by the time they're ready to hit the B bomb site, they have to worry about the flank. Very good reactions.
Yeah, Crazy. They're just taking a moment. I feel like their initial stint of those 3 rounds, they were a little bit confident coming into it. I don't think there's any question about that. They were quite dominant for those 3, but it has fallen apart for the past 5. They haven't been able to pick up a single round. They've tried faking A. They've tried actually going A. They've tried just going B. They've tried faking B. But all of that hasn't turned into a round win as of yet. So a little bit of a strategic timeout as they try and work out, okay, what's the next play? But hopefully expect something relatively big from Crazy. Sensei going to be picking up the AWP in this round as well. If you can find that pick on Rage inside of mid, it does open up A pretty widely. He is the only primary defense, well, usually, anyway. So he's going to be playing a different angle right now, though. Or not, just a long way round.
Oh my goodness.
So the timing would have been perfect there. He's still going to be lurking, though. Looks down towards T-Apps, isn't able to find anything as of yet. Waiting for at least one person to peek into his line of fire. Is he holding for the shadow? I think he is. Just waiting for Toxic to peek on through. Yeah, and he used it fully to his advantage. Does pick up that first frag, and well, you can see why Rage is a dedicated AWP. Great shot from him. Hits that flick on Demku as well, but only drops him down to 18 HP. Nevertheless, still quite low. It doesn't feel with too much confidence that Crazy are going to be able to come back into this round.
So much damage done. Demku needs to be careful. That spam from Forrester was very, very close as well. And I'm in awe. Rage is having a field day with the AWP. Crad as well has been hitting shots as well over towards the B side of the map, but A is pretty much under lock, and I don't think there's been many rounds where Crazy haven't suffered some kind of a casualty at the start of these rounds. I don't think they've ever had a man advantage into the mid round, and this is another instance where that will be the case. A 5-on-3 at 5-3. They're trying to make sure that things go their way, but Rage, although he misses a shot, there's still equal numbers on this bomb site. 25 seconds for Crazy to crack this site.
There's not much time at all. And just the thought that Rage is still holding this site with the AWP has to be pushing them off the idea. They are going to be saving. Yeah, they can't commit into this round. Their economy completely shot here. So it's going to be an even worse situation for them in rounds to come, though. The fact that 3 of these players, considering how low they are, Sensei on 100, Psycho on 300, Demku on 950, they're going to stay like that for this round as well, and they're not going to increase too much for the next. Kind of banking that this round goes their way. Another timeout going to be called.
Yeah, this time I think it's a technical issue as opposed to a tactical one, but either way. It's, it may not kind of leap out on the page, just the fact that Rage only has 7 kills, but you negate the fact that the first 2 or 3 rounds he had no real impact. As soon as they got the AWP and the rifles out, just kill after kill, entry kills at that, typically with the AWP. The fact that he's getting so much of an advantage for Hard Legion to work off of in each of these rounds where Crazy have rifles is massive. And even just the fact that they can have so much confidence in Crad to lock down the B bomb site at the moment is also a big benefit to Hard Legion. And so you do hope that Crazy start to kind of recognize that if Hard Leech are going to start getting aggressive with those AWPs, of course, we had Forrester push into the apartments as well simultaneously. So you typically expect Molotovs to be thrown, spam from the B or the T side apartments to kind of push those players back or at least scare them off a little bit. But there needs to be some concerted effort to close that gap against the AWPers and get them before they can run away, because at the moment they're taking aggressive shots, falling back, repositioning, like every AWPer wants to do on every map.
They're having the literal aspect of a perfect AWPer's dream in this situation, right? They're able to take a shot, fall back with basically no repercussions coming down their way, and we are now going to be kicking off round number 10. 6-3 your current scoreline. The boost inside of mid, an interesting one. Not one that you usually see. It does reveal you quite a lot, but we've seen a bit of a switch up here as well, as we have Crad on the A-bomb site. And Rage this time boosted up. Very rare that he misses these shots, but thinks about it again. Doesn't want to show any form of presence. Sensei getting quite aggressive. Does spot out his leg and he misses!
Oh no.
Oh, that is not what you want to be doing. You've been presented an amazing opportunity to take out, well, not only the top fragger for Hard Legion, but an absolute dominant force on that AWP in the form of Rage, and they've squandered it. Sensei now with the blind shots through the smoke. Crad waiting for this smoke to dissipate. Demq does pick up one in the form of Forrestar, so there goes one of your main riflers. But I don't think it's going to be enough. There's damage dealt to some of these players on Crazy. Now only 40 seconds remaining, and the spray from Kinky takes down one. Craig trades one through. Sensei and Toxic, they do trade it out. Now on a 3 versus 2. Health advantage going to the way of the Hard Legion. And it all comes down to whether or not Craig can pick up this shot. He's not going to be able to. I feel like Rage might just save this. If he can pick up one shot, and that's great. How does he even know that Toxic's there? Isn't able to hit the next one, though.
Well, he had the money to go for it, so he tries his hand. Some great shots being hit by Toxic, especially when they got into that post plant. Rage, nice timing on that one, but that actually spelled his undoing. The fact that he gets that kill incentivizes him to go further. He was preparing to save, but like we were saying, the money is still okay. It looked a little bit dire there for Crazy. A squandered opportunity to start things off. The fact that there was some presence over towards short. But interesting that Hard Legion even changed things up. Rage has been predominantly over to the A-bomb site. This time, in that particular round, he was anchoring B. It's a strange change, given that, well, Crad has been doing a good job over on this bomb site. But maybe one that Crazy can capitalize on if there's a bit of uncertainty in the Hard Legion camp.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think there's a question about that. Maybe Crazy can try and find these angles, these openings where Hard Legion like, okay, let's swap something out. But clearly it doesn't need to happen. Crad, even though he's completely blind, still finds that frag onto Sergez. Rage picks up one as well. Now does just leave us in a 5 versus 3. They swapped back to their original setup with Crad on the A-bomb, on the B-bomb site, sorry. Ooh.
What is?
But yeah. Nice kill on to Sensei, but I'm not too sure why Sensei's even holding that position, considering he knows that there is a Molotov right in front of him.
Well, a man burnt to a crisp for his transaction. Well, it may not be all too favorable. Rage. Oh, he's pushed through from the arches. He is. He just knows that even if he goes down, they still have a numbers advantage. Psycho's left alone. And
yeah, Kinky spotted him. He knows he's there.
Pushing forward, Psycho. Oh, missed shots, and Kinky, he'll be happy to have that dance. 7-4 for Hard Legion. Another instance in which the gun round goes astray. Like you said, they go back to what they know. Crud, you be Rage, I'm A. And they just have they have a good time. Both AWPers get kills almost simultaneously across the map. And ever since they've had these rifles, we said it before, Crazy have kind of fallen off a little bit.
I'm not sure if that's underestimating Hard Legion, maybe, coming into this from Crazy's perspective, or if they're just not fighting anything, really. Like, they're forcing into these rounds as much as they can. We're going to see a force spike here from Crazy as well. It's not a huge one, but we do see Demq kind of bring himself back in line with the rest of his teammates' economy. If they don't find anything here, like even a frag, like if they can pick up Rage, fantastic, great. You get the AWP out of his hands, but if they're not able to recover that, I don't really see them having a chance of winning this. Remember, before CR4ZY's 4th round, they had lost 6 in a row. So it's definitely teetering on their mental state. They can't let the early game get into their heads too much, but nade goes over, nobody there. Sviat moves towards sandbags, falls straight back. Up shot missed. Both authors now going to be tagged down by this scout. We see the push coming on through with the Glock. Sensei going to be looking for Sviat. He's going to be able to take him down. That's a tap and an hour pickup on that AK. But Kinkui, oh, there's someone right below you, buddy. He gets absolutely destroyed by the Deagle of Toxic. Raze does pick up one through the smoke. But now on a 3 versus 2, there's 2 weapons in this round for Hard Legion, but with the recovered weaponry coming on through from Crazy, this is looking like a very winnable round. Well, actually, not if Rage has anything to say about it. Does take out DemQ, but he needs to be careful about the close angle. See the push from Forrestar, does get up, down by 3. Is he going to be able to find anything else? Nope. Toxic, quite aggressive, taps him down.
It's the pistols. Of course it is from Crazy. They come through to the B-bomb site and they just take names. The fact they get that first kill towards the second oranges so cleanly as well just spells disaster, because there's nobody that can rotate in safely. They have to go for the boost. The bottom part of the totem pole dies, the top part simultaneously. It all goes astray. And well, although things were looking good for Hard Legion, they had such a good economy coming into that round. Now they've run out of that cash. They can't buy back into this. And Crazy, their money's looking a little bit better. Just the fact that they got practically a free round.
Yeah, a lot taken through to the next as well. So that just helps bolster the economy even more. DemQ, this could be ruthless for you, buddy. And Rage is going to get it. There's your Zeus kill. That's an AK going to be recovered as well. There's no armor on Rage, though. So that definitely has to come into consideration on, does he continue using this? Did he trade it off to Forrestar, who still has at least half armor? So flinch isn't going to affect him as much, but he's going to be lurking around mid a little bit. A lot of utility now going to be deployed by Crazy to try and block off the B site. Any of these angles just getting pre-molly, pre-smoked, pre-flash, you name it. They're chucking anything and everything over onto the site. Kinky takes down one of them, sprayed down by Psycho. Crad tries for the tap through the smoke, not going to be able to find anything. Does begin his push on through. That is not a dark, does get sprayed down. Toxic with one, Sensei with one more. Raid picks up another, now on a 2 versus 2. And if Crad continues pushing this, maybe he can find this frag onto Psycho. He deals damage, isn't able to find it. Raid's now going to push him from CT, and I wouldn't be surprised, yep, if the York takes him down. Sensei, he was low, but he still had the York available. A 6th round for Crazy. 1 round to bring us level now.
That's a very, very close round. We get the replay there of Sensei. The round that transpired a couple ago, but yeah, this is the Crazy anti-eco that, or rather eco round that went their way. They almost suffer that same casualty, but keeping 2 alive is at least the absolute minimum. Of course, now with Hard Legion getting into a position where their economy won't look too healthy for a few rounds, they go and invest in the AWP. They run boost Rage over. He peers in through middle. He's actually found the bomb, wins the duel on Sensei, and they scramble back to recover it.
Kinky, quite an aggressive angle now inside of Wood. Cubby's is home for the time being. Rage getting aggressive once more, and sprayed down by DemQ, who had already pushed on through apartments. A little bit too overzealous there for Rage. Yeah. He's had too much ground for such a long period of time that he just expects Crazy not to be in certain angles now. Toxic going to be first person to push out onto the A site, but Forrestar is there to defend. Going to deal minor damage to DemQ, but quite a lot to Toxic, down to 18 HP. But now on a 2 versus 4, it's looking like Crazy are going to level this one out unless we see an absolute masterclass around from Sviat and Kinky.
Coming in from the flank, Sviat, that's a crucial fight to win into the apartments. May just find the timing on Psycho, in fact does. And time is of the essence here. There's no kit available on either of these 2 players, no smokes either, so it has to be straight up gunfight. Sergey is holding the side of the smoke, Sviat the apartment's position, because he'd found the kill earlier on. They know exactly where he is, and, well, it's an easy call to save instead. That's the thing, man. The fact that Rage was getting away with murder on that A-bomb site, going unpunished for so long, that's what Crazy needed to do. Just find the kill on him. As soon as Hard Legion don't have that man advantage anymore, take advantage of it. And they've done it. They've cracked the code. They've mastered CS, but they need to, unfortunately, recoil from the beating that they've been getting most of this half.
Yeah, but if they're able to win this and they're able to win the half, that does set us up for a pretty decent CT side from CR4ZY. But unfortunately, it is all on the shoulders of Rage, right? The fact that he's been able to find multiple frags almost every single round. And I believe he's on 15 frags now, which is not too far ahead of some other players on Hard Legion. The kills are kind of spread evenly across the board, but he has been just finding those very crucial kills. Those opening frags inside of mid, just the aggressive picks inside of apartments. Of course, he's not going to be trying that this time, which is quite interesting, though. I would have thought he would have got up close and personal with this Mag 7, but not going to be the case. Sergez picks up one. Crad with the AWP. He's going to be able to find Psycho there. I believe he picked that up from Sensei's dead corpse. Now with the man advantage going their way, maybe they have a stake in this round. They've recovered an AWP, recovered an AK. And there's a Mag 7 as well. Let's not forget about that.
No, that hole created towards CT spawn is definitely a concern for those B-side players, but fortunately for them, CR4ZY are moving forward towards A. Rage. Oh, the Shadow gives it up, but Toxic, he plays with his heart and soul, finds the kill. Now just Forrester on the bomb site, Deagle in hand. They knew that this needs to be cleared out, and while Forrester presented the opportunity, they almost line up wonderfully for the Deagles. Fiat's there on the rotation. There's a slow encroachment from Crad as well up from the lane. The Molotov will push Toxic out into the opens. Fiat, they're approaching in towards the site. It's all onto Demq. He has to come up with 2 big headshots here, but he just cannot get it done. CR4ZY, they will fall short slightly as the half now concludes. Hard Legion with a narrow edge.
Yeah, very, very narrow. The fact that Hard Legion were able to win, it was 6 rounds back-to-back and then struggle getting those last 2 to tee them over to the 8th round. It does seem like CR4ZY have woken up. They had a good start, had those first 3 rounds they were able to pull ahead, but not much else from there. Yeah, having a quick look at the stats, you can see it is Rage and Crad who are pulling ahead for Hard Legion 2 AWPers.
Yeah, the streaky nature of the half is very indicative of sort of checking in and checking out. They get the rifles, they get the AWPs, and then things start to turn around. But the small changes that CR4ZY made just to make sure they're in better spots to trade and potentially punish aggression seem to make all the difference. Of course, over at our partners at LootBet, they don't seem to have budged much. It's still very much in favor of Hard Legion. Well, I think there's a bit of an argument to be made that maybe CR4ZY have an interesting CT side.
Yeah, I feel like like I said, they've definitely woken up towards the tail end of that T side. So now that they're on the more defensive side, it'd be interesting to see how they play this. Toxic, an incredibly passive angle. It looks like a lot of CR4ZY doing that as well. We're not going to be seeing that from Hard Legion, though. Just straight rushing all the way out onto the B site. Flashes, smokes, you name it. They are taking a minor respite right now. Psycho tries to pick up something to that smoke, but nothing found as of yet. Kinky pushed onto the site. Sensei trying to push on through, but nothing found as of yet. There's only 1 player fallen so far, but the bomb going down, and there is 1 kit available. This round could still go to the way of CR4ZY.
Waiting for the smokes to fade now. CR4ZY, just all about when they pull the trigger. As they get the sight lines in, there's a good crossfire here set up by Hard Legion. This will be a tough sight to crack. Kinky in with the first Rage, pushing forward for more, and well, they find all the kills necessary. 4 kills from Kinky in the round. He entried, he closed it out for Hard Legion, and both T sides have won their respective pistols.
Yeah, it's just that aggressive nature that we saw from Hard Legion, something that we were kind of seeing signs of in that CT side, right? They were getting quite aggressive in towards apartments, sometimes even just sprinting down towards Banana as well. So it doesn't really surprise me they've been able to translate that over to a very good start on this T side. Something you mentioned earlier as well is the fact that almost consistently now, with just the nature that CS is in, we are going to be seeing a false buy from the CTs after losing that pistol. Sensei on the scout. And while Sensei's had a good game, 14 frags to his name, it doesn't feel like he's made the same sort of impact that Rage and even Crad have on those scoped weapons.
Of course, harder to up on the T side, but yeah, I 100% agree. the impact hasn't yet been felt, but of course, opportunities for that on the C2 side. Of course, the pistols, they can do a lot of damage in a round like this. Toxic gets caught out in the open, and while they will try to hold onto the site, Hard Legion are approaching in numbers, and they're making sure that they're not making any simple mistakes. They're clearing things together. They're even slowing things down significantly such that they don't get caught out. And while that's an adaptation from Rage, a quick 180, Demcu's gone. They take the site 5 versus 3.
I have no clue why Demcu doesn't get that frag. No one even thought about checking that angle. He had a pocket AK as well. The CZ is so damaging in that close range, just missing one of those shots. Well, means that he loses his life, and, well, CR4ZY are going to lose the round as well. It's going to be a 10th for Hard Legion. It's a clean sweep as well. A lot of damage dealt to their players, but nobody falls.
And I made the same criticism of Rage, so I'm just going to say it here. Sensei, buying down to absolutely nothing. Don't know that it's entirely necessary, but...
He's trying the Rage tactic. Rage did it last time. He wants to try it as well. He knows that this is the path to amazing AWP shots inside of mid. It's going to take him a couple rounds to be able to actually afford the thing, but should be able to pick one up next round, depending, of course, how it goes. The advantage is firmly in Hard Legion's court now. 3-round advantage now, with only 6 remaining for them. More and more Zeus pickups. This time for CR4ZY, Demcu's picked up one.
Yeah.
We've only seen 1 Zeus kill so far, but maybe we're going to be seeing another one. Flick there from Sensei. It's only a chest shot to Kinky, so it's not going to take him down. But Sensei runs straight into the fire as well inside a boiler. He's going to be safe for the time being, though. Relatively slow push from Hard Legion. They made their presence known, though.
It's at least fair that Demcu's the one that picks up the Zeus as well, because I'm pretty sure Rage is the one that Zeus did.
Yeah, he's inside a boiler. He's trying to get his own back.
Yeah, he's trying to get revenge. He's fighting his own battle over here.
He's like, we're losing, guys. I don't care. Just let me get this damn Zeus kill. Forrestar's going to be lurking up on him, though. I wonder if Forrestar even checks this angle. If he doesn't, then Demcu might be handed this Zeus kill on a silver platter. No one else is going to be pushing us out of apartments. His best job to get this frag is from Hay. Brad going to get tagged down quite low. Trade damage on Sensei. Demcu quite aggressive. Forrestar still hasn't spotted him out. He's gone completely unchecked inside of apartments. Does change his angle. Forrestar thinking about checking it, thinking about peeking. He's going to be there. He spots him out, but he isn't able to get it. So unfortunate. I mean, if he had the Zeus there, it would have been a kill. Just saying.
Yeah, potentially. So concerned about maybe taking a longer range fight, he doubts himself. The Zeus had to be the one. Yeah, but a good job from Hard Legion, making sure that the SMGs go first, of course, just clearing out the site, finding a bit of space for the rifles to operate, and while the SMGs continue kind of running around the map, hunting for these weapons, there's not much to lose in going for this, considering that they are likely to want to upgrade as well, but obviously Sviat can still be a gap closer in the coming rifle round. You may just spot out where they're saving, but yeah, Hard Legion are thinking about the economy at hand for the following rounds, and a nice shot from Zergis to secure these weapons over. So at the very least, the armor gets saved over. I don't think they're going to want the scout really as a realistic first gun round, but both T sides have had their 3-0s.
See if the CTs in the form of CR4ZY can well, mirror image what we saw in our first half. If they can now pick up 6, does put them into the lead. Put them up to 13 rounds.
And do we get that same impact that Rage had, right?
See, that's the thing, because it looks like Psycho is... I mean, he's picked it up. Okay, I thought he was going to continue playing with the scout here, and it would be an interesting player to put it on. But no, Sensei has picked it up. I'll be interested to see if he goes for the Rage or the Crad style, so either holding mid and then falling back off on that first pick, or just being that almost solo defending player on the B side and waiting for those rotates. Looks like he is going to situate himself towards the A site instead. Same angles, but Rage, he's playing something a little bit different. Aggressive here, picks out Zergis through the air. He screams pull. The clay pigeon shot down. Does take quite a bit of damage for his troubles though. Dropped down to 21 HP. Psycho now just got hold incredibly passive. holding on first orange, and yeah, B is your domain right now, Rage, and it looks like Hard Legion. They are stacking up for this push. Utility now going to get deployed. They're going to check every single angle just to be safe. Psycho hasn't given up his spot as of yet. I'll be interested to see if Hard Legion do actually clear this. It's a common spot. They don't clear it straight away. He gets one straight. He may get a second. Look for the third. He's going to be able to get it. Has to swap out to the secondary. But unfortunately isn't able to do it in time. Forrester with the trade, but the round might have just slipped out of the hands of Hard Legion.
That makes all the difference. From a 5-on-4 to now this. Just the 2 players left for Hard Legion. Good damage done by Forrester. A good effort, but still no cigar. Well, they're trying desperately to find some space to get this bomb planted. Oh, that might just be the mistake that pushes it over the line. Demq's gone. Rage still pushing forward with the AWP, and he's deadly. Sensei is all that's left. He hasn't even had that many opportunities to fire this off, and they spot him out. They know exactly where he's coming from, and they can play the 2 versus 1. The problem is they need to get this bomb planted. Going back to actually dial that in is Forrester, and as it gets planted, Sensei, ooh, he's thinking about tapping out. He's not sure about how he feels about saving the AWP, but he'll do it nonetheless. He'll bite the bullet. Hard Legion, another round.
Yeah, he kind of has to. He's glass cannoned off into this round. He doesn't have any form more armor. Very limited utility in that single flash, so he misses that first shot, he's dead. Might as well just take it through to the next. And this is where you just start feeling the impact of Rage. Yeah, of course, he only got 2 frags in this round, but that's still a pretty considerable amount considering. Picked up that nice opener and then able to shut down that push from CT. It does secure Hard Legion a 12th. Taking these weapons through to the next does just solidify their lead a little bit more. Hard Legion's economy is looking very, very clean. Same cannot be said for Crazy. Some players can afford a buy into this with certain rifles, potentially a couple of FAMASs. They want utility, but it looks like, yeah, half armor, pistols, the standard. Minimal utility in the form of smokes and a couple of flashes, but they don't want to be committing too much. They want to ensure they have this full buy moving into round number 21 and just see if they can hinder the economy of Hard Legion here in round number 20. It's 12-7 right now, Yumi. It's looking like Hard Legion are trying to run away with this.
Yeah, getting very, very close as well with Rage finding picks consistently. CT side, T side, he gets kills with the AWP. That's what he seems to just be able to pull out of thin air. It's been quite astounding to watch, and that's what's been really missing from this Crazy side. Over on A as well, Krad has found a kill. Kinky is well creating some space towards B, so they're not really sure where the concerted effort is from Hard Legion. They're spreading out, they're looking for kills all individually, and they're coming out ahead.
Yeah, there is a lot of just this individual performance from the Hard Legion guys, and obviously, as we mentioned in the halftime, yeah, we have kind of the runners at the top with Rage and Krad, I believe it was, but everyone else is picking up the pieces as well. They're able to find the frags just left, right, and centre on their own. They don't need support from the rest of their team, and unfortunately for Crazy, that same sort of methodology can't be said. Demq's only on 7 frags, Psycho's on 9, so he's towards the bottom of the pack. That's still not too bad. We've seen Toxic, Sergez, and Sensei, yeah, they're all in double digits, but again, it all kind of comes down to whether or not they are crucial kills. It's all well and good taking someone down as they're running away from a bomb site, but if you aren't able to find it to be able to then move you in to an opportunity on either of the bomb sites, what's the point of the frag?
Yeah, it's about creating that space. Absolutely true. Can they actually find a pathway? Well, Rage, okay, this time they don't face him with the ult, they nade him out of the server. That's one way to deal with their problems, something that they failed to actually accomplish on their T side in particular, but now that they're on the CT side, it's a little bit easier. Still going to be a tough position to fight back from, though. Pushing forward in towards B, Psycho, Sergez, they combine wonderfully to lock down Banana. This is the first time on their T side that Hard Legion have been pressed up against a position like this. They clutched things back in a 2 versus 3 previously, but 2 versus 5, surely not. This is almost certainly a crazy round.
Yeah, you would think so. For a start. 9 frags to his name so far, one of the surviving players. Frag get quite aggressive in Sensei's face, and well, he does rip an AWP out of his clutches.
They're just looking for damage. They don't even have the bomb. They just want to go for kills and damage the CT economy.
I mean, they know that CR4ZY are in a bad spot economically, so the fact that Sensei's died, fantastic for them. They know at least a single player is holding inside a pit right now. Crad is going to get dropped incredibly low. He's just looking for that pit onto Demq, and he only deals a smidge of damage. For one tick, that is it. An 8th round for CR4ZY. Finally on the board in the second half, Yumi, but their economy, it's okay. They can buy. That's the main thing, I suppose, right? It's still not great. If they lose this, they might be forced down to another half buy, which we've seen they haven't been particularly convincing on, especially on the CT side. The T side, yeah, they had that one standout round, but that was one. Nothing major.
Yeah, it's crucial that they keep 4 up just so that their CT side economy doesn't find themselves in a hole. Well, Hard Legion setting up for some map control. CR4ZY playing pretty far back. Not going for as many risks, not too many peeks down middle, pressure into the apartments, instead playing far more passive angles. And that's maybe a style conflict that really allowed Hard Legion to have such a good CT side to start things off. It's the fact they were going aggressive and catching CR4ZY off guard. Not something that CR4ZY are willing to do, however, on their own CT side. A lot of pressure mounting on this A-bomb site, though. Now the majority of Hard Legion are here. They're grouped in the apartments, and they're ready to go.
Sensei misses this shot inside of mid. This could fall apart completely for CR4ZY, but it's going to be the push straight out of apartments. The Sensei, for once, doesn't miss the shot, so it is going to be mid-control completely gained. The rotate now has to come all the way through apartments with only a single defending player right now in the form of Demq actually on the bomb site. We see the rest of them still just holding back towards libraries. The smoke works against them. Rage does pick up one in the form of Sensei there as well, and now you're going to be thinking from CR4ZY's perspective, okay, our economy isn't great. Do we just need to save off the back of this? We aren't able to find any more frags. It looks like they are going to try and go for something here. I believe that's Psycho fishing up close and personal. Spots out one, does take down Severe. Is he going to be able to find anything else? Nope, goes up against Rage. It's now Orpa versus Zorba. As we see Serges looking for at least one more frag here. Trays an AWP into another AWP. Why not? Go for it. He liked that skin just a little bit better than the Asimov. Trays it out to the M4 finally. Does have a kit. Spots out Forrestar somehow, minorly, random spray, but this time Forrestar through the smoke. Takes down Serges and secures Hard Legion a 14th round.
Rage just keeps stepping up in moments where Hard Legion need him most. A great effort from Demq to just stay alive on the bomb site as well meant that CR4ZY had the numbers to fight Hard Legion off, but just shot after shot. The smoke's faded towards Moto. Rage finds a kill. They take down Demq, and things start to cascade away from them. A crucial 2 versus 1, because that could have meant that CR4ZY start to get a bit more of momentum underneath them. Hard Legion wouldn't have been able to afford up a buy into this round, or at least not a comfortable buy. But instead, Hard Legion are now within touching distance. They're close to at least guaranteeing the overtime. That's why a timeout will be called. I kind of want to see something crazy from Sensei. It might not fit into his style of play, it may not fit into the system, but I think there needs to be somebody on the CR4ZY side that, well, makes a crazy play, because they have tried the passive and clear-cutting approach, you know, the straight and narrow, but sometimes you need to get a little dirty.
Yeah. What a way to put it. Yeah, you are completely right, though. Obviously, we've talked on about him for a while, but Rage has been that player for Hard Legion. CR4ZY just, right, at least on this map right now, don't seem to have that sort of player. Demq's just getting scared off of these flashes. He's been flashed twice inside of mid, and he's had to give up a position time after time. He's not confident he can find a pick. We do now see Sensei picking up that first one, though, in the form of Forrestar. Toxic getting quite aggressive through apartments, able to take out CR4ZY, gives up information. They do recover the bomb from mid, but are they thinking still going towards B? There's 3 players stacked up, pushed up quite hard into Banana. Sphere. Very close. Some of these CT players, as the smoke goes down in towards CT, Psycho going to be holding the cross here. Demq just waiting for this piece on out, but nobody home. Sprays on through, is going to be able to find one. Serges picks up one, Rage trays it back. Serges with a second, now got to go up against the Orpa. He's got to be careful, he knows that he can lose this quite easily. But if he can make Rage whiff Then maybe finds the shot, knifes the body as well, just a good measure, and secures a 9th round for CR4ZY. Exactly the sort of defense we need to be seeing from them. It's a little bit too passive for my liking, but it works, so I'm not going to particularly complain.
Well, it's passive on the B bomb site, and that's because they're getting aggressive on A. We had Sensei push through apartments. We had Toxic as well alongside him. The dynamic duo over at A that did the initial damage that forced Hard Legion into that B site push. So small changes being made. Nothing overly crazy, but at least throwing a few curveballs their way, making sure that it can't be too comfortable. And Toxic and Sensei again find opening kills. This time Demq's alongside them. They've got the bomb dropped at their feet. Sure, it's just an anti-eco round, but a clean one at that would be great news for CR4ZY.
Yeah, bolstering their economy bit by bit with this sort of round. If Rage can find a single frag here, he might throw a bit of a spanner in the works. Toxic, yeah, a bit of an off angle there, and Rage just wasn't expecting it. They move into double digits now. 4 rounds between these two teams. And there's going to be a buy available for Hard Legion if they want it. Would potentially mean that Sviat drops an AWP down for Rage, but instead they're going rifles across the board. Minimal utility though. Sviat's the main holder right now, and I wonder how that's going to change the way they approach this. Still going to be pushing 2 down towards Banana. Still going to be playing 3 up into apps. Sensei with a wide peek there. Does find that first one. He peeks all the way through mid to be able to find that first. Sergiz picks up one on Rage as well. Well, there's 2 very crucial players taken out of the round. Forrester on Rage. Now Hard Legion. Got to try and fall back a little bit here. They can't keep pushing. Round just haven't gone their way. They got up to 14 with relative ease, to be honest, but haven't been able to get much more ground off the back of that. It's a 5v2, and it's looking like an 11th round for CR4ZY, unless we see something absolutely insane from this Hard Legion lineup.
No, the start is similar themes to the CT side from Hard Legion. The 2 AWPs, now that they're there for CR4ZY, having so much impact. Yeah, can they recover? Can they at least make this a little bit more competitive? Sergiz scoped in, Kinky is taken out, so it has to just be Sviat. And while the AWPs start the round and they finish it for CR4ZY, they bring it within 3. And this is another round that should be an accumulator, a morale booster, a gap closer for that CT side.
It's just 3 rounds in a row now for CR4ZY. With that force in the with that full buy in the previous, should I say, from Hard Legion, they're back down onto pistols. Not being able to get a bomb plant, not being able to really get a stake in these last couple of rounds is really working against them. But yeah, you are completely right. We are going to be seeing an incredibly similar setup from these 2 AWPers. One solidified themselves over towards B, one inside of mid. Toxic getting scared by Forrester's PT50, but it's Kraz, Tech 9 who finishes the job. The spray there from Demq does spray bomb back, but Kraz getting so much ground and is actually getting another frag. Not going to be able to find that third though in the form of Psycho, but Sensei tries and pulls as many weapons back into friendly territory as he can, but he's forgotten about one of these AKs. Kinky could find at least one frag here in the form of Sensei. Isn't going to be able to find it though, does just run dry. And that's the 12th round for CR4ZY. It's 4 in a row now, and they are building momentum.
And they've built up an economy as well, so they can fall back on that should things go slightly astray, should they be closer rounds, should they suffer casualties. They won't be suffering too hard on the economic front. And this is where you hope to see a bounce back from Hard Legion. We've seen a great recovery thus far from CR4ZY, but that gap is narrowing for that Hard Legion camp, and they decided to go for it with no AWP in presence. They didn't factor that into their buy this time around. Rage has to show us that he's dynamic on both. While he's had a pretty good game overall, he, in these past few rounds, has found limited impact as these AWPs on the CT side are having so much effectiveness.
Nice utility from the CTs here as well, just to be able to put so much pressure on these Banana players right now. They're not scared of giving up info though, they are just stomping around like elephants, just asserting their dominance. And it seems to have worked. Crazy have fallen back to more defensive angles instead of holding Banana as tight as they were. Don't want to take a fight early on here, considering damage has already been dealt. CR4ZY down to 49 HP, but we see the utilities being deployed. Another minor angle gained for Hard Legion, but now they go for the entire site. They push on through.
Oh.
The taps there from CR4ZY and Psycho. Absolutely gorgeous. Psycho with 2 through the smoke. Demq not revealed himself as of yet, and I don't think they're actually going to check this. Rage just pushed all the way through to Church. Forrestar taps the bomb, and well, his head's going to get tapped clean off as well. Now does just leave Rage, and let's see what he can do when it's not an AWP in his hand. He's got this AK, and he's still not able to find a frag. He's got 26 to his name, but it's going to stay that way. It's 13 to Crazy, 14 to Hard Legion. Now within 1. I assume this is the Psycho.
Yeah, I can't believe he gets 2 here. The fact that he's spamming away burst after burst, he gets a stray bullet as Sviat decides to push him, and he's just able to adapt in time. It's a Hail Mary, it's a gifted set of frags, but he will happily take those under his belt, put them in the back pocket. Crazy, they're feeling this momentum now, really pushing forward. They've not had a round in which it's come all too close, and now 2 or 3 in a row. And while Kinky will try and close the distance over at B, it is just pistols and a scout for this Hard Legion camp to work with.
And it's interesting that it's on Crad instead of Rage, right? Usually we see Rage being that primary scope player, but Crad's holding his own. He's picked up that opening frag. Demq could recover this AWP if he wants to, or at least move it out of enemy control.
Yeah.
Oh, he is going to pick it up. Oh my lord, okay. Maybe, no, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe Crad should have the scout, because he's picked up 2 fantastic frags so far. Sensei and Toxic didn't know where to hit him. Does open up a pretty decent opportunity onto the A site. They're hoping the rotates come on through, but that's not been the case as of yet. It's Crazy. Seem to have read this play like a book. Smoke goes down into CT. Are we going to be seeing the push? Demq's still going to be holding on A. He hasn't rotated off as of yet. CR4ZY just on the edge of the smoke. Does get traded by Crad. Again, he's picked up 3. Rage picks up one of his own. Forrestar, one of his as well. But does leave Demq last alive. Rotating from A. Is he going to be able to find Forrestar or Crad? That is the real question. Crad from the long angle. Oh, okay. Crisp, clean 1-tap. Still got 27 in the mag. Go against Forrestar. Bit of an off angle, defending the bomb as much as he can. Doesn't have any utility. Demq on him has tons of it. Spots out a shadow, but isn't able to convert it into a kill. Dear lord, drops him down to 19, but spray control was not in his favour. It's 13-13 now, Yumi. And you might get your 16-14 prediction.
Yeah, 14-14. How has that happened? Crad has hit shot after shot after shot with the scout. He picks up an AWP. He misses.
What? 1 tap.
Demq, some great shots coming through, but those are 2 fights that Hard Legion had no business losing.
Oh, definitely.
Just the fact that he has to individually peek. He doesn't have really the best utility to flush them out into the open. It shouldn't be happening. What a phenomenal round from Demq to be able to clutch that one back. But it's tied it up. Maybe my prediction does come true. I think I said 16-13, but it's about there. We're in ballpark territory.
Close enough.
And as with my prediction, I still am very unsure as to which way it goes. Some great individual performances from Hard Legion last round, but Crazy as a whole have been really coming together on this CT side.
Psycho can find anything here, that'd be great, but they push on through Arches, and, well, he's now revealed himself inside a library. The spam from Kinky. Complete CT control here from Hard Legion. They do indeed have the bomb with them as well, so they decide to go towards A. It's going to be an interesting push. It looks like that is the way they're going to be going, though. Sviat going to be the first one to fall. Demq waiting for that mid-push. Just chumps past library. Doesn't need to check the angle at all. Knows they're there, but forces them back with a teammate's Molotov. Rage now going to be picking up a frag onto Sensei. Looking for just a little bit more here as well, but it's falling apart. It was a good opener. They're getting a lot of ground, but the fact that they still committed fully onto the A site instead of taking that ground and moving towards B, where there's only a single player, could come back to bite them. I believe it's Sergey's going to be holding, right now inside of church. He hasn't given up any form of information as of yet, hasn't shown himself. Rage on the other side of the map, though, does show himself and picks up a frag to his name. Molotov available for Sergez if he wants to use it. Going to peek it, takes down Kinky, and Crad, who was on with the bomb, now needs to cut this down. He hasn't got time to be able to play this, buddy. Yep, he hasn't got time to be able to plant it either. A complete whiff of the round as Crazy take us 15-14. They were so far behind in that first half, but they've made CT completely theirs.
Understandable effort. Like, he wants to force that player to take the fight, but he just had to trust that Rage was going to hit the shot that he ended up hitting. It was a very disjointed effort from Hard Legion in the mid-round. The fact that Rage is lurking through middle as well as they're trying to progress on that B bomb site, surely you want both players to engage at similar times so that you have multiple avenues into the site, but instead they simply gamble and it doesn't work out. They lose track of time. Crazy or close. They've had this momentum the entire CT side. The fact that they've brought this back and are now about to potentially win this game. Hard Legion need to make something happen here. They need to find some sort of chink in the armor because Crazy, they're playing a bit more aggressively this time around. Serg is flashed up and taking the fight. That's a easy enough frag for Hard Legion to get away with. A man advantage, and they want to make short work of this site.
Yeah, you were talking about that momentum that Crazy have been building. This would be 8 rounds in a row if they are indeed able to find it. Demq picks up one. Psycho, one of his own as well. Now on a 4 versus 2. Forestar needs to come up with an absolute clutch here on the B-bomb site, but he's been spotted out. He's in generator. Demq isn't going to fall. Forestar's not going to fall. Rage is nowhere to be seen right now. Molotov is going to be able to do so much damage to Forestar, but doesn't take him down. It's going to be Sensei who closes out the game. And somehow, Hard Legion... Oh, no, sorry, Crazy.